Hello everybody, I come at you with another review. We stopped at Sunstruck Henchman last time, so we start with the Hack the System this time around. This is the Warrior quest. I'm happy that it doesn't involve bombs because I think they already have enough things going their way and I don't think they needed more support. This quest says attack 5 times with your hero, so basically with weapons or heroic strike. The reward is your hero power now summons for free and you refresh it by attacking. This incentivizes you to play a tempo deck with a lot of weapons. Doesn't seem that amazing. I mean, summoning a 4/3 for 2 mana is definitely good. Let's say you attack with a weapon once, unless you play Sultraz. I'm assuming this deck wants to play Sultraz so that it can summon more hero powers by attacking with a weapon. And basically, the turn after you play Sultraz, you can hero power 3-4 times. But I think that's not doable. And I don't know if Warrior wants to play this way. I can definitely see Warrior wanting to play tempo-oriented because of the new 3 mana 3/3 that they got. I can see Warrior playing control like they do now, or playing bomb like they do now, but I do not see Warrior playing with quest. In a way that makes me happy. I think Warrior already has enough viable decks. I don't think they should also get a quest deck like they had in the past. It's their time to sit on the bench when it comes down to quests. So I'll be very surprised if this quest is play. Very surprised. Plague of Flames is a card that a lot of people are talking about. In my opinion, it's not good because it involves killing your entire board. It says destroy all your minions, for each one destroy a random enemy minion. Well, it's only good in a situation where you have a board, he has a board, you start a turn with this card and then repopulate the board. If your opponent is ahead and you have to play a board to then play Plague of Flames to wipe the board, then you won't have much more mana to make a board again. So just the fact that you cannot select how many minions you're going to sacrifice makes this card, in my opinion, just too situational to be good. Maybe I'm wrong, and 1 mana board clear is just too good in a token deck, let's say. But I don't think Zulok needs a card like this. I don't think it's good tempo to play Plague of Flames. I hope I'm not wrong, but I don't think this card is good. Now this card, Anubis of Defender. It's basically a better Arcane Tyrant. Instead of being a 5 mana 4/4, it's a 3/5 with Taunt, which is better than 4/4. 3/5 is already maybe better than 4/4 in a lot of situations, but also having Taunt can prevent you from taking lethal some situations. It's just nice. The question is, with which spells are you going to combine it? I guess it's not a set of the realm of possibilities that Druid is going to play Nourish, or that it's going to play Starfall. Maybe Starfire, if you're feeling frisky, and you're playing Malygos and you want to kill your opponent. So I guess this card has enough support, but with a Nourish nerf, it's a bit weaker. Like, this card would have been amazing if Nourish was 5 mana. I can keep dreaming, I guess. Still, if Mali Druid is going to see play, and it seems like they're giving Malygos Druid the tools required for maybe making a decent deck, this card is gonna be a 2-off in the deck, for sure. Kind of sucks that it's epic, so a lot of people might have to spend quite some dust to get it if you don't pull it from the packs. And usually good epics are what differentiate a cheap from an expensive expansion. The cheap expansions historically had bad epics. Overflow. Okay, this card is interesting. People compare it to Ultimate Infestation. The only part that is similar to UI is the draw 5 cards, which is great. But he doesn't deal 5 damage, gives you 5 armor, and summons a 5/5. It gives you 5 health, which is comparable to 5 armor as well, but not if you're full health. But assuming you're not full health, 5 health is exactly the same as 5 armor. Especially without Spellstone in the game. This card is good. I think Malygos Druid will probably play 2 of these. And build the deck around it in a way. Run a lot of removal like Swipe and Bees. Run Overflow, probably still run Nourish, run double Innervate. Maybe Malygos Druid is back. Like, I can see running Innervate Overflow into Anubis of Defender. And that can be like a powerful play. I'm feeling it. It's a budget version of Maligos Druid. I don't know how you're gonna survive. Because you don't have Spreading Plague, you don't have Branching Paths, you don't have Ferocious Howl. So it's gonna be pretty difficult to survive. We'll see. Wait, do we not have Ferocious Howl? We might still have it. I don't think we do though. Anyways, I don't think Ferocious Howl is as good as Branching Paths anyways. But my hopes are getting a bit excited by those two cards. Micro Mommy. I don't like this card. It buffs a minion at the end of a turn by one attack. This kind of effect is not so good. Not very impactful either. The only good part about this card is that it's a 1-2, which also gives you a 1-1. So it's technically 2-free, but better than a 2-free, because you have to kill it, you have to attack it twice. It's a mech, which is good. You can discount it with Galvanizer. But it's also one attack, which means that you will get it from Christology, which is not always what you would want, right? From Christology. You want Galvanizer from Christology. So I don't see this card being good, even in Paladin mech decks. The only way you would play this card is if you build a singleton mech Paladin Reno with around the Finley card. Where is it? Around Sir Finley of the Sands. And maybe then you have to run 30 cards that are different, and Micro Mommy just makes the cut. So it's not going to be played because it's good. It's going to be played if it's going to be played because you have nothing better. Warrior Weapon after your hero attacks, add the lackey to your hand. It's good tempo, but Warrior doesn't need lackeys. So I don't see this card seeing play. They printed this card probably to go together with the quest to help you finish it in a Tempo Warrior, let's say. But I think Tempo Warrior has better things to do than playing a 3-mana 2-2 weapon that gives them a lackey. Still, interesting card, but probably not what Warrior wants. Desert Spear. 3 mana, 1-free. People on my stream were telling me that it's technically a 3 mana 2-free. Because you get the 1 attack and then you get the 1-1 rush, which can then trade into the same thing as a weapon. But if you attack face, you just generate the 1-1. Well, we have a 1 mana 1-1 rush. It's Lynx. The Locust is similar to the Lynx, also being a beast. I don't know. It's a bit too expensive to play 3 mana for this. Also, good weapons threaten face damage as well. People are telling me that 1 attack weapons were insane with Candle Shot. The thing with Candle Shot was 1, it's 1 mana. 2, it made you immune, so it made the trading really good. 3, it was really good in a metagame of Hunter's Mark. With Hunter's Mark getting nerfed to 2 mana, I think even something like Candle Shot would be a bit weaker. But still, you would primarily play it for that combo. I don't see playing this plus Hunter's Mark. It's way too expensive. I don't see this card seeing play because it's just not what Hunter needs. It's not what Hunter wants. 2 mana, 2-free is better than 3 mana, 1-free, which is sometimes 2-free, but sometimes gives you a 1 on the board. So basically, just playing the 2 mana weapon that Hunter has is better than playing the Desert Spear. As long as you don't want to kill 1 attack minions, 1 health minions. If you want to kill 1 health minions, this card is better, but because it's situationally better for 1 more mana, we won't play it over the other weapon. Dark Pharaoh. This card is good, but we currently don't have enough support. We currently only have 2 cards that Warlock can play to generate lackeys. That's Evil Genius and Evil Cable Rat. If they don't print more lackey generation cards, I just don't see playing this card for possibly generating a maximum of 6 lackeys. We're not going to play this for that. So, if we get no more lackey support, we're just going to play Zoo, in which we put Evil Cable Rat, because Evil Genius was already played. So we play Zoo with lackey generation only for the 3 mana 3-free. If we get more lackeys, maybe we're going to modify the Zoo deck to play all the lackey generation, the 3 mana 3-free, and the Dark Pharaoh Tekan. But I don't see playing Tekan only for the current lackey generation that we have in the game. So once we see all the cards, I'm going to discuss this card again. in my closing notes of this expansion. Vile Fiend. This is a 2-mana 2/2 lifesteal. It's one of those cards that they just made to be filler. It's basically a Scalehide without Rush, which is a demon instead of a beast. It's not good. This kind of card would have been good if it had Rush, similar to Scalehide. Mortuary Machine. 5-mana 8/8 after your opponent plays a minion, give it Reborn. So one of those 5-mana 8/8s that has a downside. The best one being Fell Reaver, because the downside wouldn't affect you unless the game goes to Fatigue. This one kind of affects you. Your opponent just needs to play minions. This card is good against decks that don't play minions, or whose minions are not relevant if they get Reborn. For example, you don't want to play this card against Mage. You definitely don't want to play this card against Zoo. You don't want to play this card against a lot of things. I would say you want to play it against Warrior, but then I reminded myself, wait a second. Giving Warrior a Reborn on their mechs is a very, very bad idea. For example, imagine a Reborn Ziliax. But not even a Ziliax, just because they have Dr. Boom sometimes online to give their mechs Rush, giving it Reborn to the mechs is super bad. I don't see a deck against which you're comfortable giving their minions Reborn. I really don't. There's too many Rush cards in the game. There's too many strong plays that people can do if their minions stick. You don't want to help them with that. So right now I just don't see this card seeing play. The only way I see this card seeing play is in some sort of Silence deck. Maybe Priest plays it together with Silence. That's it. 5-mana 8/8 for 2 cards. Yeah, other than that I don't see it. Pretty interesting. Shadow Death. This card I tweeted about that is like very powerful, and a lot of people started making fun of me. It's basically a Faldorai without a body, but you choose the minion that you want the Faldorai effect on. So getting a 4-mana 4/4 on the battlefield is not good. And then getting 3 4/4s in your deck was pretty good. That summoned for 0. This card, you don't get the 4/4, but you can shuffle minions way better than 4/4. You can shuffle a Leroy. People were saying that you can also shuffle the Cult Monger, I think it's called, to summon Ra. And there is an OTK I saw on Twitter as well. You can basically play the Cult, Shadow of Death, Shadow Step it. Next turn, Myras, in the situation where you are able to draw your entire deck, so basically to get 6 tokens, then you play the Shadow Stepped card, and you faceless the Ra, and you deal 40 damage to your opponent. That will kill a lot of things, and it's a 6-card combo. You need the Cult. Let me show you the card in case you don't know. 1 second. Where is it? It was around the time Obelisk was revealed. This one, Mogu Cultist. I think I confused the cards. So basically, you play Mogu, you play the spell twice, it's 3 cards, Shadow Step 4 cards, wait a turn, next turn, Myras, and then you play the 0-mana Mogu from hand and Faceless. The only bad card that you have to play is Mogu Cultist and Faceless in Rogue. The other cards you're not really sad playing. I'm not sure if that will happen. Maybe I will try it on stream for the memes. Memes are the best thing ever, right? But really, you can play it with Leroy. I'm not sure if Leroy is enough for you to want to play this card. Maybe this card will be something that you want to generate with a Spell Lackey and sometimes be amazing. Because if you have the time, let's say against the Control Warrior, to just put 3 Leroys in your deck and then summon them for 0 mana just by drawing cards, it's a pretty powerful effect. What I'm saying is, this effect is too powerful to not be good, at least in some situations. Obviously, against aggro, this card is gonna be very bad. But I think it's a very good tech against control and slower matchups, where you're able to Myras and draw your entire deck and just push a lot of damage and pressure your opponent. So, I don't think this card will see play in the beginning, but it's either gonna be a very good pick from the Spell Lackey in some situations, or a very good card to sideboard against warrior in tournaments, or a very good card to play in a slower metagame on ladder. Pretty much. Bone Wraith. What do you want to compare this with? Belcher? Belcher was a 3-5 that gave you a 1-2. This is a 2-5 that gives you a 2-1. 2-1 is way worse than 1-2. 2-5 is a bit worse than 3-5. Considerably worse than 3-5. For 4 mana, you can play Senjin. 4 mana, 3-5 taunt. This is 2-5, but gives you a 2-1. I don't think it's that much better than Senjin, to be honest. I think 2 attack compared to 3 attack is a pretty big difference. So I don't think this card is good, but maybe I'm underestimating it. Maybe I don't see the potential. Maybe in some Reborn deck, this will be played. I mean, for sure will be played in some Reborn deck. But outside of it, hard. Pharaoh Cat. Add a random Reborn minion to your hand. This card looks pretty good. It's usually worse to generate a random card than to draw a card from your deck. For example, this has the stats of Town Crier, but Town Crier is way better because it draws a card from your deck. I don't know the pool of Reborn minions, and we didn't see all Reborn minions for sure yet. I think there's way too much of a spread of mana costs required for the Reborn minions for this card to consistently give you something that you want. And are you just gonna play it for the 1 mana 1-2 body that you can then buff, let's say, kind of like a Firefly? Firefly was good because it was a 1 mana 1-2 that gives you another 1 mana 1-2, so you know what you're getting. With this card, you get the 1-2, but the second part is a question mark. You know it's a Reborn minion, but this doesn't say much. It could be Bone Wraith, but it could also be Colossus of the Moon, which you never have time to play, let's be real. So, I think this card looks good on a first glance, but once you look more into it, it will start fading away. I actually don't think this card is that good. I saw people going nuts about this card, but I'm not that impressed. I am, however, impressed, and I'm willing to go nuts on Tomb Warden. 8 mana, 3-6, basically Saronite, summons a copy of himself. Saronite before it got nerfed. So Saronite was broken as a 4 mana 2-3. This is an 8 mana 3-6. So, how much do we value a 2-3 taunt at? 2 mana? So Saronite giving 2 of those for 4 mana was pretty good, right? And then with buffs, it gets insane. Well, this bad boy gives you 2 3-6s. 3-6 is 5 mana, but let's say we value it at 4. You get 2 of those, very good deal already. It's basically scaling really well compared to Saronite. It's kind of like Saronite pre-nerf. That's the scaling. I think this might be good enough to make Taunt Warrior playable, no joke. With this that discovers more taunts, with this that buffs them by 2-2, this is insane. It's kind of like the Zoo card, but the Zoo card that hits your entire hand. You just need time to play it. And then, I don't know how you're gonna transform raw stats that the taunts give you into you winning the game. Maybe with Dr. Boom and removal, you just run them out of the game. So I don't know how exactly you're gonna build Taunt Warrior. I don't know what exactly the win condition is going to be. But Taunt Warrior just looks good on the basis of you playing Armadillo and Fright Night Flunky and Into the Fray. And this card has a higher chance to discover Armadillo and the Tomb Warden because they're class taunts. Maybe you're gonna play the taunt package of like 10 cards or whatever into a Tempo Warrior. I can definitely see that. But Taunt Warrior looks like something playable. I hope it becomes playable and it's more playable than Bomb Warrior because Bomb Warrior is annoying. But while saying this, I understand that maybe this deck is gonna be more annoying than Bomb Warrior. We'll see. At least if people play big minions, you can kind of deal with it. As long as it's not on turn 5 like Mage. This comes down on 8. This expansion is pretty exciting. They're delivering a lot of weird, interesting cards. And we barely saw 77 cards, not even 100. Give a minion Reborn. I don't know if that's worth 1 card. It's definitely worth 1 mana. I don't think it's worth 1 card. It's kind of like, give a minion Death Rattle, resummon this minion at 1 health. Unless you have a way to use Reborn to your advantage, maybe heal to full health a Reborn minion or something like that. I don't see it. You know how I see it? I see this with the Priest Legendary. Because this is when you summon a minion. So even if a minion gets reborn, I think he goes to 7 health. But just because a card is good with this doesn't mean that the card is gonna see play. Because almost every card is good with this already. So I'm not sure. I need to think more about this card, I think. But on first glance, it won't be good. Historically, getting a buff like Reborn or Divine Shield or something maybe is worth 1 mana, but it's not worth 1 card slot in your deck. Too little of an effect, too little impact. Give a minion +4/+4 in Divine Shield and Taunt. So it's basically Kings plus Divine Shield and Taunt for 2 more mana. A bit expensive. I just said I don't want to play 1 mana card that gives me Divine Shield. This is 2 more extra mana for Divine Shield. On already a pretty overpriced card, Kings. Don't get me wrong, Kings is very good. But we played it for 4 mana. Just because we were able to draw a million cards with Divine Favor and almost always consistently have something to Kings. And this card sucks. And with this, I finished my, I think, 5th or 6th review. I don't know exactly. I think it's 5th. Of the ULDUM expansion. I'm pretty excited. The power level is high, but the cards are interesting. And I think they're able to shake the meta game. Still a lot of cards to be released, so expect more reviews when they will be live. And I'm looking forward for the expansion. I cannot wait. It's less than 10 days remaining. We better see all the cards soon and just get right to deck building. I will also make some special videos once all the cards are released, where I'm trying to predict the metagame, tell you what decks are, I think are still going to be good, and maybe what decks are going to become good. And at the same time, I also want to make a video where I talk about what cards you can disenchant to get more dust. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See ya.